Hey, what's up guys, Benny here and welcome to Xbox On, and the Destiny 2 beta is finally here, meaning we can all get our first hands on with the long-awaited sequel to Destiny, which from first impressions is going to have a far better story than the first game. It's also going to have much more for us to do, a better multiplayer experience, and in this video we're going to let you know what you need to do to get the most out of the Destiny 2 beta, so you can get the best possible head start come September 6th for the full release of Destiny 2. And if you aren't on the beta just yet, we're also giving away some codes, so just make sure to follow the link in the description below for your chance to get your hands on one. Now, the best thing about this beta is the fact that because Destiny 2 is a brand new refresh where everyone is going to be starting from the exact same point, you can use the beta to help you make the all-important decision on which class you're going to play as in Destiny 2. Of course, in the long run you can have one of each, but to start, it's important that you play as your personal favorite, whether that's the Titan, Hunter, or Warlock. Also, remember that each class has a brand new subclass for Destiny 2, with some of them being pretty damn awesome, like the Titan Sentinel subclass, which so far has been my personal favorite. Like, come on, you're pretty much Captain America. So in order to get the most out of this opportunity that you have with the Destiny 2 beta, I would definitely recommend to try out all of the classes. Even if you just play through the very first mission, Homecoming, to see which one you prefer, though I would also recommend trying each class out in the Crucible, as they do offer completely different playstyles. If you like being able to be a bit more evasive and a lot more mobile, try out the Hunter class. Also, with their brand new Arcstrider subclass, their super at the moment is very difficult to counter, and of course you still have access to the Gunslinger subclass, which has everyone's favourite golden gun for racking up a load of kills with, well, my personal favourite from Destiny 1 at least. So another reason to try out all the classes during the Destiny 2 beta is because of the exotics. Now, let's be honest, one of the biggest things within Destiny is the loot. All the time you're playing the game, you're trying to earn the best loot that you possibly can, with obviously the pinnacle being those incredible exotics. During the beta, you'll have access to 3 different exotic weapons, one for each of the 3 classes. The Titan has Sweet Business, which is an auto rifle that is pretty much a minigun. Its first weapon perk is Payday, which gives you a larger magazine size and increased hipfire accuracy, and its second perk is Business Time, which means while holding down the trigger, you'll get increased weapon range and a higher rate of fire. And the biggest thing with this weapon perk is that ammo pickups will go straight into the magazine, so you could just end up shooting forever if you play it right. With the Hunter, you get the exotic hand cannon Sunshot, which if you're accurate, I personally think is the best out of the 3 exotics in the Crucible. Its first weapon perk is Sunburn, which means Sunshot fires explosive rounds and also highlights targets that take damage from the gun. So like I said, perfect for the Crucible. Then its trait is called Sunblast, which means that enemies killed with Sunshot will explode in solar energy, perfect in strikes or when there's a group of enemies trying to take an objective in the Crucible. And then the final exotic you can use in the beta is also a new weapon type in Destiny 2, which is the submachine gun Risk Runner. Its first weapon perk is Arc Conductor, which means that when you take arc damage, Risk Runner is going to get more powerful by dealing more damage, as well as reducing incoming arc damage. And then you can keep the overcharged effect by getting more kills, which is amazing in a strike like the inverted Spire. And then the weapon trait is Superconductor, which means that when it's active, shots fired have the chance to become chain lightning and return ammo so you don't run out, something I did find incredibly useful. So make sure you go ahead and try them all out, as I'm sure when Destiny 2 comes out, it's going to take you a while to get your hands on them all over again. So once you've managed to make your way through the first Homecoming mission, you're going to want to get straight into the Crucible, because so much has changed from Destiny 1. You'll have 2 modes available for you to play in the beta, everyone's favorite mode Control, which will be played on the Endless Veil map, and then a brand new game mode to Destiny 2 called Countdown, which if you've played Call of Duty before is Destiny's version of Search and Destroy. First things first, a couple tips to make sure you're as successful in the Crucible as possible. Most importantly, don't sprint all over the place. I know it's tempting because you're so much faster, but if you come up against another player who's taking it slow and doesn't need to wait a second to be able to start shooting you, they're going to win every single time. Secondly, and this is also pretty damn important, work with your teammates. This is a game where if you have 2 people shooting at one player together, you're going to win every single time and most likely both survive the gunfight. So pay attention to where your team are and work together. Also, you'll probably have noticed all of Destiny's multiplayer modes in the Crucible are now 4v4, so are a lot more tactical and not as chaotic as Destiny 1, partially as there doesn't seem to be a super going off every 10 seconds, which I'm pretty damn thankful for. In Control, each team now automatically starts with controlling their home flag, so you don't have to worry about it, so you'll either want to try and take mid-map control straight away, or go right for that B flag capture, so you can dominate the map right from the start of the game, so go ahead and use all your abilities to win that first big team fight. But the most exciting game mode for me is Countdown. As most of us have been playing Control in Destiny 1 for years, this is fresh and exciting. In Countdown, to win, you need to be the first team to win 6 rounds, and just like Search and Destroy in Call of Duty, it is incredibly tactical and can get quite intense when you're the last person standing and it's the final round. But my first tip for this mode is whenever you get the opportunity to revive your teammates, do so. Having as many people alive is a huge advantage, and in this mode is crucial to success. Also, try and get the heavy ammo whenever possible, as it'll easily win you a couple rounds here and there. But just make sure to go out and try out the Crucible, use different classes, use different weapon types, explore the maps, as this is only a small taster of what we have to come in Destiny 2. One of the big things that you've probably heard mentioned a lot since the Destiny 2 announcement is all the new subclasses that have been added for Destiny 2, and the beta is really our first opportunity to mess around with them a bit and find out what the best one is, and I would love to hear from you on which one do you think is the best in the comments down below. So first of all, let's take a look at the Titan Sentinel subclass. So obviously, I mentioned it earlier, the Sentinel gets to pretty much become Captain America with the Sentinel shield, which you can throw, hit enemies with, and also use to deflect oncoming damage. You also get 2 different types of barricades, the Towering Barricade, which can be used to completely block enemy fire, or the Rally Barricade, which you can crouch behind, and the best thing about it is that when you take cover behind the barrier, it'll instantly reload your weapon, which is pretty damn insane. And as always, you get 3 different choices of jumps, the high lift, the strafe lift, and the catapult lift. I would recommend using whichever one feels best for you, though the strafe lift is great for the Crucible. There's also 3 different grenades. I do like the magnetic grenade, I personally think it's the best one. But with the Sentinel subclass, not only do you get the ability to use the Sentinel shield, but if you hold LB and RB rather than tapping it, you can instead use the Ward of Dawn, which is the dome shield from Destiny 1, which can be super helpful, especially in the future when we get our hands on raids. You then also get a few extra bonus perks which help in certain situations. But overall, I think the Sentinel is pretty damn awesome and would definitely recommend trying him out. Now let's take a look at the Hunter Arcstrider subclass. In Destiny 1, I played as a Hunter partially for the Golden Gun, which you can still have in Destiny 2, but the Arcstrider subclass is also pretty damn cool. You get the Arc Staff Super, which allows you to acrobatically take out a load of enemies. You also get 2 types of dodges, the Marksman Dodge, which allows you to dodge attacks but also reload your weapon, and then the Gambler's Dodge, which fully recharges your melee ability. You then have 3 different types of jumps as always, high jump, strafe jump, and of course the famous Hunter triple jump, which can make you an absolute nightmare to track in the Crucible. You then have the Skip Grenade, the Flux Grenade, and my favorite, and the one that I would recommend using as it fits the subclass pretty well, the Arc Bolt Grenade. Personally, for me, the Hunter is probably the class after playing the beta that I'll end up playing in Destiny 2, right? You just can't hate on the cape. But finally, let's take a look at the Warlock Dawnblade subclass. Now, this is the subclass that everyone went crazy about when Destiny 2 first got revealed because its super Daybreak allows you to just launch fire from your sword and just destroy everything. Now, for your class ability, you get the choice between Healing Rift, which helps keep everyone on your team alive, which is really useful in both the Crucible and the Inverted Spire Strike in the beta, and then also there's Empowering Rift, which increases everyone's weapon damage. Now personally, I've never been the biggest fan of the Warlock's jump, but you have Strafe Glide, Burst Glide, and then Balance Glide, and then for the Dawnblade's grenades, you have the Solar Grenade, which is great for blocking doorways, the Firebolt Grenade, and then the Fusion Grenade, which if you hit an enemy directly with, is gonna pretty much kill them instantly. But one ability that I have to highlight is the Icarus Dash, which allows you as a Warlock to dodge while in midair by double tapping B, which is amazing in the Crucible, right, and is just gonna make you a nightmare to kill. But those are the new subclasses for Destiny 2, but make sure to remember to let me know which one you think is the best one in the comments below. Next up, we have a huge part of Destiny which you're going to have to make sure you give a go during the beta, and that's the inverted Spire strike. So obviously throughout the first game, you constantly did strikes including harder versions with things like the Nightfall to help get you the best possible loot in the game, including the occasional exotic, and this gives us our first taste of what we can expect in the main game. So first of all, I have to mention the final boss of the strike right off the bat, the Modular Mind, because it's genuinely a real challenge with different stages to the fight, whether that was a different type of attack or extra enemies coming into the fight, and also the different levels as the floor disappears from beneath you. It was honestly a lot of fun, and the whole strike just had constant action throughout. I would definitely recommend doing this with a couple of friends if you just want a more chilled out experience, well, until you get to the boss fight anyway. But that is everything that you need to make sure you give a go during the beta, and also try and find the pikes at the start of the strike, and let us know in the comments if you managed to do so. Also, let us know what your favorite part of the Destiny 2 beta is. Drop a thumbs up if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye!